Hello everyone, it's Safrina from Feng Shui and Prosper. And as you can see from the countdown timer, we have about 3 minutes and 20 seconds to kind of just, for me to just welcome people to come on. So if you're watching me right now, feel free to say hi, let me know where you're watching me from. And then right at 1 o'clock, we're gonna start with a little bit of a rant that I think is really prevalent in the world of Feng Shui enthusiasts. So we're going to talk about that today. In the meantime, let me make sure I'm being seen properly here. Yes, okay, perfect. So how are you guys doing? How are things in your part of the world? Here in Toronto, it's actually quite nice and sunny. So that's great. That's something that we've been looking forward to for a while now. Hello, Donna. Welcome, welcome. Today's topic is going to be, it actually didn't publish the topic, but we will be talking about how there are no shortcuts in Feng Shui. I'll go into it officially once the countdown goes into 0, but right now I just want to get to know you guys a little bit more. Let me know who else is here. I'm just, if you guys see me looking towards the side, it's because my computer's right here. So I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything here. Very quiet. We have people watching. Let me know who you are. I think there's a way for me to actually... And if you know of anyone who, friends or family, also interested in topics of Chinese metaphysics and Feng Shui, feel free to share that as well. Share this video, either the live video or the replay. Hi, Ava. Hi, Grace, Marianne, Pushpa. Welcome, welcome. That's amazing. Okay, I come in a little bit early just so I can really hear from you guys, right? I don't want to just start the camera and go straight into the content. I mean, I can, but I don't want to be just a talking head for you guys. I want to actually get to know you guys as well. Hey, Princess, love your name. Princess Goldie. Amazing. And also, let me know, I'm going to start doing this as well. Let me know what other topics you'd like me to cover, be it around spirituality, around law of attraction, around manifesting, around energy healing, and of course around Feng Shui. You guys might see that I'm starting to talk a little bit more on other topics because I believe that you need to combine your Feng Shui work with the other tools as well for bigger, better results. Okay, we're down to 0 on our time. Welcome everyone. We are officially starting this week's show. I'm going to call it my show. If you guys have not realized it, I am trying to do a live stream every week on Wednesday, every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if the timing works for you guys, then you can kind of, just like a TV show, right? Like an old school TV show, you kind of know the date and the time. So I will try to stick as much as possible to this, to Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Love attraction, Ava. That's what you want me to talk, to touch on next time. I can definitely do that. I have an amazing Feng Shui love story, which is my own. I've shared it before, but I can definitely reshare that. So today, you guys, today I want to talk about how there are no shortcuts in Feng Shui. What do I mean by that? And I've touched on this a couple of times. Sorry, just frog in my throat. I've touched on this a couple of times, but I think I need to revisit it because, and I don't know what's been happening. Maybe with the spring, summertime, people are starting to shop. But I've been getting emails and Facebook messages of people asking me about Feng Shui wallets. Feng Shui wallets. Now, we all know that there is a famous Feng Shui teacher out there that has many different product lines that is brought out every year. So things like a little wallet, whether it's blessed or not, honestly, is not going to work if the feng shui of your home is bad. Getting a feng shui wallet, and this is just one example, and this is a pet peeve of mine. Every time I get another question or inquiry on whether I sell feng shui wallets, it really does tick me off, because feng shui, the way it's meant to be practiced, is not are not shortcuts. It's not like, oh, you carry this and your life is going to change 180 degrees. You put this golden dragon or this Guangong, general at your door and you're going to get this. It doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. It's just a lot of watered down brainwashing around feng shui that has been happening, I don't know, probably since the 60s or 70s, when the fast food feng shui really started taking hold. And I know some of you guys are upset at me because you're like, you're only talking about generalizations. We want hard tips and techniques from you. Well, on a live stream like this, I can't just give you general. There are a lot of suggestions that I can't give out ethically because I don't know enough about your home. And I've said this before, every layout is as unique as a thumbprint. You could be period 8 facing north 2, but your layout is different from someone else's home who is also period 8 facing north 2. Therefore, the experience from one home, from two homes with the same period and the same facing is different. Just like if you go, if you're having physical symptoms and you go to a doctor, the doctor doesn't even ask you any questions to kind of root things out, right? And just starts giving you prescriptions. Will you actually, in all honesty, take those prescriptions when the doctor didn't go through tests, didn't go through questions to make sure what really is happening, what really is causing what is happening to you, right? So the thing is, if you guys, and to be honest, I've been there. Like 12, 13 years ago, I have been there. I probably had a feng shui wallet. Let me try to remember. Maybe. I don't remember buying one. Maybe I was gifted one. But you know what? The feng shui wallet on its own did not work. And you guys who bought the feng shui wallets or bought the blessed keychains or bought the whatever that's being sold to you, be honest. Did they work? Your wallet's probably still kind of empty, right? Especially if you haven't done the other work that needs to be done to change your life, to change the energy. Now, with classical feng shui, there are calculations that are involved in terms of figuring out what is the energetic foundation of your home. And so, if this is the right timing for you to forget about those feng shui shortcuts because they haven't worked for you, then you need to start reading up a little bit more about classical Feng Shui. At the very least, start reading up a little bit more about flying star Feng Shui, right? In terms of mainstream Feng Shui content, that is probably the one that is the most accessible for you, especially if you're going for something free. That's the most accessible for you. So Google or YouTube, Flying Star Feng Shui. Learn as best as you can about Flying Star Feng Shui. Once you have the Feng Shui of your home done, then, if you want, then you can do the Feng Shui wallets. Then you can wear the colors of your best element. Then you can wear a lucky keychain, or wear accessories that are based on your best element, based on your Chinese birth chart. Those little things are just little boosts. They do not and cannot take the full load of changing the Feng Shui energy of your home, or even of your personal body. Please take that away. That's the one takeaway that I hope you get from this one live stream. Save your time, your energy, and money. Don't go hunting for those things that promise you the world when you're not dealing with the issue from the root cause. You're not dealing with the issue holistically. Okay? So, if you're watching this, please do not send me an email about Feng Shui wallets again, because that is just that is just not the right way to do it. And my mission here is really to break open a lot of Feng Shui super myths that many of you have been brainwashed and have subscribed to for months, maybe even years, right? Some of you who started joining me in my annual Feng Shui program, you're like, oh my God, Sabrina, all these years I've been doing it wrong, and no wonder, right? So that is my one plea for you guys. Stop. I've been desperate before. I've been in situations where I was desperate. I've been in situations where I was frustrated that nothing changed. These things that have been marketed as, as quick fixes, they do not work. Okay? You're simply putting money in other people's pockets and not opening up the energetic abundance for yourself. Donna is asking, so I read that combining black-brown or brown-gray or gray-red creates negative energy, whether in clothing or in the home. Now I'm concerned to carry a black purse with brown shoes, for example. Oh my God, who was saying that? Definitely. I'm just going to, let me see if I can, what was that? So this is the question that I just read out here. That is very, very not true. So you can safely disregard that one. Okay. And I see that you guys want me to chat about love attraction. Okay, maybe that's next week's live stream, perhaps. Okay. Anything that you guys have bought and you're wondering, okay, did I just waste my money? Feel free to tell me what you bought, and I'll tell you if you should just chuck it, or maybe you can still use it for different purposes. Okay. So how do you guys feel about that? How many of you guys have fallen prey to these quick fixes? I've been there, like I said. And not just for Feng Shui, right? Oh, buy this blessed candle kit. Blessed by the most powerful Wiccan witch in the northeastern of America, or whatever. Burn this candle and your whole life will be great. Right? We've all fallen prey. I admit to that. But at one point I started to realize, wait a minute, none of these things work. Why do they not work? They don't work because you're not dealing with it properly. And so just as a refresher, you guys are going to hear, I talk about this in every video, you guys, but really in any area in your life that you want to change. So you guys were talking about love attraction, right? So here, you're going to see on this side of the screen, heaven luck, earth luck, mankind luck. So for instance, if you guys want love attraction, stop buying the Mandarin ducks. The Mandarin ducks on their own do not work. What do you need to do to shift your romantic reality, your relationship, the reality of your relationship? Either you're currently with yourself or you're maybe with someone, but it's not going down the path that you want it to go, right? You need to look at all 3 levels of luck. And here we talk about no shortcuts. If you want real substantial change in your life, you cannot take a shortcut. You need to be committed for the change. So what is heaven luck in terms of in terms of how it can affect your relationship? Some of you guys have heard me talk about Akashic record, right? In Akashic record, if there are, especially in terms of past life, you can go into your past life through your Akashic record and try to figure out if there was a pattern in terms of relationships that keep happening over and over again in different lifetimes. And then try to figure out what is the lesson from those and how is that affecting you in your relationship in your current day. So once you get the realization, you need to fix it. You're now given the diagnosis with a Akashic record reading. Now you need to change it. So for instance, if in your past life Akashic record, you seem to always attract people who are, let's say, critical of you, constantly criticizing, constantly barraging you with verbal bullying, right? Maybe that's your spouse in your current life. Okay, so what do you need to do in order to do that? Maybe you need to do some forgiveness work in the past, maybe even some forgiveness work for the current life. That's your heaven luck. All right. So earth luck is Feng Shui. If you want to switch your relationship, again, forget about the Mandarin ducks. Keep your money. In classical Feng Shui, there are energies that you can tap into based on the period of your home, based on the facing of your home. You can figure out the directions in your home where it's the strongest to nurture or start a relationship. And how do you activate that? You activate by usage. You activate by element. So if the element of the relationship is wood, you just put plants there, either real plants or fake plants. That's it. Forget about the, whatever decluttering in your southwest corner because that's your relationship corner. That is BS. The southwest corner is not the relationship corner for everyone. Okay? Clear that out of your mind space right now. And for mankind luck here, in terms of attracting your relationship, what do you need to do? Just buying a Mandarin duck or just carrying a rose quartz is not going to attract that person to you. Especially if you, in your mankind luck, if you have fear around losing your independence, let's say, if you have fear about being with someone who, let's say in your past, you were with someone who was abusive, and you have lingering fear of that happening again in your future relationship, you're bringing the energetic baggage that you bring into that potential future relationship will mean that you're very likely to attract that. Fear, worry, frustration, desperation, those things need to be healed. You can do that through meditation. You can do that through energy healing. You do that through using essential oils. You do that working with the moon cycles. You do that with your the right kind of vision board. You do that with affirmation, but the right kind of affirmation. You do that with self-love. You do that with forgiveness. You do that with clearing your chakra. And we're actually going to be talking about chakra work tonight in our masterclass. That's your mankind luck. So, how do you combine heaven luck, earth luck, mankind luck in attracting love? How do you do that? It's a lot of work. But that is how you change your life. Honestly, that is how you change your life. I've been a Feng Shui consultant almost 10 years now. My clients who see the biggest, fastest change in love, in health, in finances are the ones who dealt with it all three. For the heaven luck, they go, they do charity work. They do, and again, the right kind of charity. They do go for meditation circles. They work on, healing their past lives. They work on healing their inner child. They try to figure out what are the potential karmic relationship in the current life or in the past life and break that bond so that the pattern finally releases from you. And then you do proper Feng Shui. If you guys are still not in Feng Shui, in my Feng Shui 2018 videos, my program, let me put up the thing here so you can check it out. Oops. Hold on. Okay, so this fengshui2018.com. Okay, if you're not in fengshui2018.com, if you're not in my Feng Shui 2018 offering right now, please do so. I've already brought down the pricing because we are in, end of May already. But it's still not too late to Feng Shui your home for this year. And everything there is based on the period 7 and period 8 homes, based on the direction of your homes. Okay? It's not as close as having a private Feng Shui consult done on your home, but it's close enough that you get the proper placements started so you can start seeing the shift. And then mankind luck. Figure out what are your self-sabotagers around relationship. What do you fear about relationship? What are your worries about relationship? Do you have low self-confidence? Do you have low sense of self-worth? And how is that blocking you? How is that affecting you and your power centers? Work on your chakras. Work on your mindset. Work on your worth. Work on your self-doubt. Right? If you need to work with a coach or work with a counselor, because and I'm a truth teller. I worked with a client who wanted to attract the right relationship, but he had a really bad relationship with his mom. It was very abusive relationship with his mom. And I told him, look, we can do Feng Shui, but honestly, I think you need to go into therapy. That's the truth. Feng Shui on its own, that's the cold hard truth, people. Feng Shui on its own, it's great. It gets you started. It gets the energy changing, but it cannot be a standalone tool. You need to do other self-improvement, start your self-improvement journey. You need to start looking inwards. Not just looking into your heart and your mind, maybe looking into your soul, into your past. Those are the cold, hard truths of what needs to take place to change your life. Okay? A simple Mandarin duck, a simple Feng Shui wallet is not going to change the reality for you. Okay, so let me check. Yeah, Donna, so now you can actually combine those colors and not have to worry about anything. That's just awful. That's actually pretty silly. Fitri says, yes. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Yeah, so Fitri says, these are very true. Heaven, earth, and mankind. So whatever it is, Betty is wanting to know about money luck. The same thing with money luck. Those are the things that you need to do to look into to change your money reality. Look at your heaven luck. Look at your earth luck. Look at your mankind luck. If it is priority enough for you, you cannot put it off. Because a lot of people say, oh my God, Sabrina, I have to heal my past life. I can hardly heal this current life. But you know what? You heal your past life. That will pull through the healing, and that'll affect your current life. If you feel that the work is too much and you don't do anything about it, then maybe you don't really want that change all that much. Okay. Like I work with, I do coaching. I do business coaching. Some private coaching clients as well. They want to build their business. They want to get healthier. They want to, they want to attract things, more certain things into their life, but they don't want to do the necessary steps. And that's very frustrating because you can see the potential in their life. You can see the potential in your life. So the one thing that you need to walk away from this right now is holistically addressing the energy of whatever that is being blocked in your life, whether it's health or money or a relationship. Holistic is your one takeaway. Okay. Danusha, I have a money tree. Again, money tree don't work. Money tree don't work on their own. What is a money tree? It's being called a money tree. It's marketed as a money tree. But does it give you money? Has it worked for you? Very likely not. Right? So, if you guys are, let me see, Cheryl is saying, the sun is always beaming down on my front door. It is so hot in the afternoon till sundown. Is this negative energy? Why would it be negative energy? To be honest with you, Cheryl, I don't quite get that. It's just hot. It's just the positioning of your door. It's not like fire at your door, right? If it's so hot that it's burning a hole on your door, then maybe it's bad, but it's not Feng Shui related. Okay, not Feng Shui related. All right, how many minutes have I gone on? Okay, so 27 minutes. I think I'm going to cut it here. But if you guys have any other questions, okay, sorry if it was a little bit of a rant. But honestly, you guys need to open your eyes. Realize when you're being lied to. Realize when you're being taken for a ride. Because Feng Shui works, but only if you work it right. Work it the way it's meant to be used. Okay. This is some tough love that I'm giving out here. Because I've gone into homes and businesses and I see all these little, tchotchkes being paraded around the home, but they're still in trouble, right? And then Feng Shui gets a bad rap. Feng Shui doesn't work. Well, it doesn't work because you're using it the wrong way, right? So, again, look at this link here, fengshui2018.com. Take a look at it if you're not already in there. This at least gets you started in the earth luck portion. Okay? And for those of you guys, we have about 6 more hours before we start our chakra masterclass tonight. If you haven't registered for that, please go to my website, fengshuiandprosper.com, and register for it. That is dealing with your mankind luck. So for those of you who have Feng Shui 2018, but let's say you want to activate for money, but you're still a little bit blocked, at the very least, register for tonight's masterclass. Because if you have money blocks in your energetic in your chakras, tonight is going to give you insight into how you can heal that. So that you can combine your external proper Feng Shui placements. You can combine that with your internal Feng Shui healing then you get better results. Okay? So any other questions, feel free to comment under the video, and I'll see you guys soon.